Yo, what's up guys, so today we are gonna see, what if, Naruto x Kushina x Kurenai x Mei x Sasuke's older sister x Hinata's mom, and more women, part 1, the last part. Hope you'll enjoy this video, so before we start, go check out the author of this fanfic, J3000, link is in the description, and also subscribe to my channel, and like this video. Let's begin the video. Kushina had just given birth when a masked man materialized directly in front of her and ripped the 9 tails out of her. Minato saw the condition that his wife was in and took her to the hospital. After that, he returned to the battlefield, or so she thought. Kushina was writhing in the hospital bed in pain. No one had ever survived a tailed beast extraction. She immediately froze when she heard 2 voices in the hallway. One voice belonged to her beloved husband and the other belonged to a voice that she did not recognize. The voices grew louder and louder as they approached the women's room. "Minato, are you sure you want to use your son?" the unknown person asked. "It's the only way to ensure that the village has protection for life. No other village will mess with us since we will hold the most powerful tailed beast in existence," replied Minato. "You're right. I guess we have that masked man to thank. But what will Kushina do?" "She will never let you use Naruto," said the mysterious voice. "Why should we thank the masked man? I would have extracted the beast myself anyways. He just gave us someone to blame, and who cares what that bitch thinks? The only reason I married her was for this chance to get the 9-tailed fox. My real woman will raise Naruto with our own child when Kushina is dead," Minato replied. "But she isn't dead, she's just unconscious for now," the unknown voice stated. "For now, but she told me that no container has ever survived the extraction process before," Minato replied. Hearing all of this from the man she loved, Kushina began to tear up in bed. She should have listened when Tsunade, Mikoto, Yoshino, and Hitomi told her that Minato was no good. She should have listened to them when they started noticing his adulterous behavior. He had the guts to hit on her friends while they were married. Now, the women weren't her friends anymore. The friendship was ruined due to her blind love towards the horrible man. "Minato, it's time, get Naruto now," said the voice as Minato walked over to take Naruto. As she heard his footsteps walking over to the cradle, something inside of her snapped. She was not going to let the betrayer take her child. She was not going to let Naruto die due to her husband's activities. No one was going to stop her from protecting her baby. Not even her own husband, Minato Namikaze, the Kage who single-handedly obliterated a majority of Iwa's forces in a few hours, would prevent her from protecting her baby to the very end. Kushina started to put her into use. She used her adamantine chains to grab Minato's foot and threw him into the wall. "Ah!" the blonde-haired Kage yelled out. He looked up to see Kushina in her bed giving him a rage-filled glare. "Kushina-chan. What are you doing? I thought you were unconscious. Why did you attack me?" Minato demanded. "You bastard." Kushina screamed, "How could you do this to me? Betray me like this? You used me. Naruto will not do anything for you as long as I am Al." Kushina was cut off by a blow to her neck from the person that she just could not identify. The man held a kunai and was about to finish the job until he heard footsteps in the hallway. "Minato. Grab the boy. We have to leave now," he whispered loud enough only for Minato to hear. 2 hours later. Kushina woke up to an empty room. She sat up in her bed rubbing her neck as it was very sore. Suddenly, she started to regain memory of what transpired before she was knocked unconscious. No, she looked towards the cradle where Naruto was supposed to be only to realize that he was not there. "Naruto!" she screamed out as she started to unstrap her legs from the bed until someone ran into the room. "Calm down, Kushina, you shouldn't stress yourself right now. It's not healthy for your body. Rest for now," a voice that she recognized ordered. Kushina looked up and realized who it was. It was her ally Tsunade of the. Tsunade had a violet rhombus on her forehead. She has fair skin and brown eyes. Except for her bangs, which are parted in the middle and fall down the sides of her face, Tsunade's long blonde hair is tied into 2 loose ponytails using purple bands, the same color as the seal on her forehead. She was wearing a grass-green robe with the kanji for Gambalai cake written in black on the back inside of a red circle. Underneath she wore a gray kimono-style blouse with no sleeves, held closed by a broad dark bluish-gray obi that matches her pants. Her blouse is closed quite low, revealing her sizable cleavage. She wears open-toed sandals with low heels and polish on both her fingernails and toenails. She also wears a soft pink lipstick and around her neck first Hokage's crystal necklace and clear view on her chest. "How can I calm down when Minato stole my son? Right after he assaulted me," Kushina yelled. "He did what?" "Sensei told me that you both decided to use Naruto in the sealing process," Tsunade shouted. "Tsunade, that's not all he did," Kushina replied as she told Tsunade what she heard of the conversation between Minato and the mystery man. "I would kill him if he wasn't already dead," Tsunade yelled. Tsunade, where is my Naru-chan? I want to hold him, Kushina asked. I'm sorry Kushina, but sensei told me that he died during the sealing. Tsunade said as she held her head down with tears coming out of her eyes. No. Kushina whispered. For Kushina, that was when her world ended. No way. You cannot tell me that he is dead. Never. Kushina screamed. Kushina she was cut off as Kushina screamed again. My baby. I didn't even get to hold him in my arms yet. I never got to even hear him laugh for the first time. Kushina sobbed. I didn't get to watch him grow up. I had a chance to, but that bastard ruined it. Kushina but she was cut off. Tsunade, could you please leave me alone? I just need time to myself right now. Kushina requested. Okay, but if you need anything just call, I'll be right next door. Tsunade said as she walked away while Kushina cried herself to sleep. 30 minutes later. Kushina woke up to a female voice. Serves you right you bitch, you didn't even know that Minato didn't love you. He loves me, and now that your piece of shit that you call a child is dead, my child will become the rightful heir of the Namika's fortune. The woman boasted. Suddenly a chain shot out from Kushina's back and pierced the woman's stomach in an attempt to kill the unborn child. The banshee scream was heard through the village, alerting the Hokage as he jumped out of his chair, Yoshino who was gardening, Mikoto who was training, and Hitomi who was heading to the Hyuga training grounds. They all headed to the hospital. They are all Anbu. I may not be able to kill that bastard, but I will kill his child like he killed mine. Kushina said in a cold voice as the chain retracted. Kushina started to bleed through her bandages as she was about to fall. Someone caught her. She looked around to see that it was Tsunade. Kushina, what happened here? Tsunade asked, but before Kushina could answer the Sandaime Hokage, Mikoto, Yoshino, Hitomi, and some nurses came in. What happened here? The Hokage asked as Mikoto, Yoshino, and Hitomi rushed over to their friend as the nurse headed over to the down woman who was bleeding out. Kushina was about to speak when Tsunade cut her off. She attacked Kushina while she was sleeping. Kushina was only defending herself. Tsunade replied. Okay Tsunade, come heal her before she and the baby dies, the Hokage said. I can't, if I don't heal Kushina she will die too. Because of the attack all of her wounds reopened. Tsunade replied as she started healing Kushina. But you can't let the baby die, he or she is very important to this village. They said. But why is that sensei? Who is the baby's father? The mother isn't related to anyone powerful, so why is it more important than Kushina? The last loyal Uzumaki? Tsunade asked. Well, forget about it. I'm sure the nurse can do it herself. The Hokage said as he quickly vanished. Why did you lie for me? You know that I was the one who attacked her. You will be in trouble when she wakes up and tells the Hokage, Kushina said. And who will he believe? Now tell me, what caused you to attack her? Tsunade asked as she finished healing her. She came in here to boast about her and Minato's child. Kushina said as she started to cry when she felt Mikoto, Yoshino, and Hitomi arms wrap around her. I'm sorry guys, I should have believed you. Kushina said as she cried into their arms. It's alright, Kushina, we are all friends here and we'll do everything we can to help you. Mikoto spoke while Yoshiko and Hitomi nodded in agreement. 3 months later. Tsunade entered the Hokage's office to see the Hokage's desk covered in paperwork. Behind the paperwork, you could see an old man cursing at the paperwork, wishing that it all could burn so that he didn't have to do it. I need some long-term missions with minimal stress in order to support the recovery of Kushina Uzumaki. Tsunade requested. Why? She was released 2 months ago, she looked alright to me. The Hokage asked. Physically, yes. But that's not what I'm talking about. She tried to kill herself 3 times during the last 3 months just to be with Naruto. I want to take her away from the bad memories that were created in this village. Tsunade replied. I didn't know it was that bad. How long do you think it will take? And here, take as many as you can, the Hokage said as he gave the missions to her. I don't know sensei, I just don't know. Tsunade said as she walked out of the Hokage's office, not seeing the smirk on his face. 10 years later. At the northern gates, 3 women walked through after being identified by the guards. A blonde, a redhead, and a raven-headed woman. Why do we have to come back here again? I don't want to be here anymore. Especially after what this village has done for me, Tsunade. The woman with red hair spoke with venom in her voice. To visit your friends and pay your respects to your son Kushina. Said the blonde now known as Tsunade. Fine. Said the redhead now known as Kushina as she ran off to visit her son's grave. I don't think it is wise to let her go on her own. Said the raven-haired girl. Yes it is, Shizune, let her enjoy herself because I've been trying for years to get her to come back and I still don't know why she chose now, but I'm glad she did. Even though she's having second thoughts about it now. Tsunade said as she looked at Shizune. She had matured into a beautiful woman. She had shoulder-length black hair with bangs and onyx eyes, double C cup pie, and long luscious legs. She was wearing a long bluish-black kimono with white trimmings, held closed by a wide obi, and open-toed sandals with low heels. A 10-year-old blonde-headed boy of short stature was walking around the outermost edges of Konoha, near the Uchiha district, moving slowly in order to cool down from his most recent training exercise. The young blonde, who was commonly known as Naruto, was sporting a slightly oversized white t-shirt with an orange spiral emblazoned on it, coupled with a pair of dark blue shorts with a wide array of pockets on the sides. But amongst these physical traits, the most striking amongst them was the matching set of whisker marks displayed starkly against his cheeks. He displayed them proudly, he didn't care what anyone else said. As Naruto was walking peacefully, he couldn't help but notice out of the corner of his eye a dark-clad figure lying motionless on the cold ground in the middle of the warmest of days. A sharp gust of wind blew around, causing a flurry of leaves and other such debris to float freely, as if it was signifying an ominous presence. Regardless, he ignored it, his mouth twisting into a wide grin as he imagined the fun he could have with the sleeping figure. Moving as quietly as possible, Naruto crept towards the prone man and withdrew a pen from his back pocket, uncapping it with an audible pop. Cause him to cringe slightly in fear that he had awoken the sleeping person. After a short time passed and he determined that he was undetected, he moved even closer, preparing to draw on the man's face. Just as he was upon the man with his pen at the ready, he noticed something was off. The man's eyes were wide open, locked in a wide visage that could only be described as unmoving. Naruto froze when he saw this and started to mumble an apology to the man. Sorry, I was just sorry. No hard feelings, right? The boy asked the man, not making eye contact. When he heard no response, he looked at the man, expecting to see the cold fury that people always had on their faces after one of his jokes. Instead, the man was lying on the ground in exactly the same position he had been when Naruto first saw him. Is he sleeping with his eyes open? Naruto thought mildly, causing a sweat drop to form on the back of his head. Still searching for a prank to pull, Naruto settled for the old kick them in the ribs and run like hell gag. Naruto drew his leg back and delivered the hardest kick that he could muster to the sleeping man, causing him to fly roughly 5 feet away from his original and motionless position. Once again, Naruto was presented with an oddity. He had expected the man to get up and chase him, instead he simply laid there, almost as if he hadn't felt the bone-bruising forces applied to him. Once more walking over to the prone figure, Naruto looked at the man's face in more detail, only to find that it was turning slightly blue. In a brief moment of clarity, Naruto realized that the figure wasn't sleeping. Naruto was very naive for his age, mostly due to his age and general inexperience. However, it did not take much further inspection to determine that this man was in fact dead. Shocked at his discovery, Naruto turned around to run away, only to find his path blocked by another figure. This one was in an Anbu uniform. Naruto was frightened right then and there. He normally got blamed for things he didn't do, and this was something he didn't do. Hell, he didn't even know what happened, other than the fact that the guy was dead. It isn't what it looks like," he exclaimed quickly. "I just found him. I know exactly what it looks like," the Anbu said, walking over to the body. Naruto could see that the shinobi had dark black hair, much like the dead man had. Uchiha Shisui appears to have been suffocated or drowned by Uchiha Itachi. The masked ninja replied. "That's awesome, how can you tell that just by looking at a dead body?" Naruto exclaimed, glad that he wasn't being blamed for the death of the man. "How do you do that?" There was a pause for a moment as the Anbu turned and looked at Naruto, his eyes turning from black to red, with 3 odd marks circling his pupils. "I am Itachi," he started calmly. "Now that you have seen this, I cannot let you live," he said as he drew his sword. Naruto turned to run, but was stopped when the cold metal of an Anbu sword cut through his stomach. The sword was quickly removed before it was once again slid through his body. Naruto let out a scream, only to find it muffled by the hand of the Anbu. As Naruto slid to the ground, he was rolled over. Before he lost consciousness, he saw the ninja take out a kunai. Then everything went black. Then Itachi went over to Shisui when he felt a strong chakra signal coming towards him. "Shit, I'm not strong enough to take on that person. I have to get out of here," Itachi said, as he vanishes not before he kicks the body in the river, planning to look for it later. Kushina was coming from the grave of her son and was going to visit her friend Makoto when she saw a boy that had blonde hair and looked like Minato. But he had whiskers on his face. She looked at him and realized that he was bleeding from his stomach and his eyes slashed out, and then she started to laugh. "Cuckoo serves you right, you Minato spawn. Looks like I didn't kill you that day, but you're going to die anyway," Kushina said as she walked away, but stopped. Something in her heart told her that she should save him. After all, it wasn't the boy's fault that Minato cheated on her. At the hospital, As Kushina entered the hospital, she was attacked by the same screaming banshee that she stabbed 10 years ago. "You killed my baby. Now I am going to kill you," she yelled as she attacked Kushina with an injection needle, but Kushina kept dodging the crazy woman's swipes. "What are you talking about? Your son is still alive in my hands," Kushina replied as she continued to dodge the poisonous weapon. "That demon is not my child. You killed my baby," she yelled, but a fist to the face by Kushina knocked her out. Kushina did not know why she had punched the woman, but she felt like the woman deserved it. If he is not that woman's child, then who is he? Kushina's thoughts before she was interrupted by a nurse. "Naruto? Is he alright?" the girl asked. "I'm not sure, I found him near the Uchiha compound." Kushina said that she looked good at the girl before her. "Rin? Is what Kushina asked. "Yes it is, but I can't talk now. I have to take Naruto to the Rin said as she told Naruto from Kushina. "Naruto, why would that boy be named after my dead son? He also looks like him. What is going on here?" Kushina thought. "Excuse me, nurse. What is that boy's last name?" Kushina asked. "You mean the demon boy?" she asked with venom in her voice. "Answer my fucking question," Kushina said back with a little Kai leaking. "I said his last name was Uzumaki," the nurse said as she ran away. "Naruto Uzumaki. He even has my last name. What the hell is going on?" Kushina shouted in her mind. Then she saw Tsunade. "Tsunade, what are you doing here?" "Sensei asked me to save a boy that was attacked today." "Why are you here?" Tsunade asked. "I'm the one who found the boy." "Say Tsunade, could you do me a favor? Could you do a DNA test on the boy?" Kushina asked. "Why?" she asked. "Because he looks too much like my son. The only difference is that he has blonde hair now," Kushina replied. "But Kushina, your son is dead," Tsunade said. "I know, but please, it will help me find some peace," Kushina replied with tears in her eyes. "Okay," Tsunade said as she entered the "Kushina, what are you doing here?" the Hokage asked as he just arrived. "Didn't tell you I was here," Kushina said. "Yes she did, but why are you at the hospital?" the Hokage replied. "I was the one who saved the boy," Kushina said. "Shit," Hokage thought. "Thanks for saving him." "Akio-Sama, why does that boy have my last name?" Kushina asked. The Hokage was sweating bullets, but he was saved by a nurse who called him. Tsunade and Rin were working hard trying to save Naruto when red chakra started leaking out of his body and healing his wounds. "Should we have to stop this?" Tsunade shouted. "Why? It will heal him faster," Rin asked. "That may be true, but if it heals his eyes before we get a replacement, he will be blind for the rest of his life," Tsunade said as she put a seal on Naruto. "You're right. But how long before the seal wears out?" Rin asked. "An hour," Tsunade replied. "You there, get the replacement eyes from the medical bay," Rin yelled as the nurses ran out. Uchiha compound. Mikoto had just come from a mission to see dead bodies all over the place. "Oh my god, who could have done this?" Mikoto said as tears came out of her eyes. Then she remembered her children. "Sasuke, Anika," Mikoto shouted as she ran into the house to see both Sasuke and Anika on the ground. She ran over to them, thinking the worst until she checked them herself. They were only unconscious. Shit, why did Itachi have to go on that month-long mission? "Thank God," Mikoto said as she created a shadow clone to take up Sasuke while she took up Anika. On her way to the hospital, when she saw something flowing in the river, as she got closer she realized who it was. "Shisui," Mikoto yelled as she put down Anika and rushed out to fish out the body. When she turned over the body she saw a cut near Shisui's eyes. Someone was trying to steal his eyes. "Shisui, who could have done this to you? With your mastery of Genjutsu, I'm surprised you lost," Mikoto said as she took out his eyes. "Can't let anybody get their hands on these," Mikoto said as she sealed them away and went back to Anika and took off to the hospital. At the hospital, Mikoto had just dropped off her children. They were going to be alright. Sasuke had great mental strain and no one could tell her what was causing this and was just knocked out. As Mikoto was using the bathroom she heard someone talking. "Can you believe Tsunade-sama wants to save that demon?" said a nurse. "Yeah, she had the nerves to send me to retrieve replacement eyes for that demon brat. He could go blind for all I care," said nurse 2. "Yeah, it'll be easier to kill him now," said nurse 1 as they both laughed. Then a kunai went through the skull of nurse 1. Nurse 2 started to scream until Mikoto appeared and pushed her kunai in her stomach. "Where is the medical bay?" Mikoto interrogated. "It doesn't matter if you find it, because not even with your speed, the demon only has a few seconds remaining before he is blind." She did get to finish as Mikoto pushed the kunai farther, killing her. "Shit, she is right, I need to do something," Mikoto said. She then suddenly thought Shisui would have wanted you to have Naruto-kun. She suddenly ran towards the and ran. When Mikoto arrived at the door to the some nurses tried to stop her, but Mikoto was a ninja, so she just shunshed right behind them. Kushina came from the lunchroom to see someone dodging the nurses. Where is she going? Thought Kushina. What the hell has taken so long, Kimiko? We only have a couple of seconds remaining. Rin asked. She's dead, said Mikoto as she entered the room. What are you doing here? Tsunade asked. We will talk later. Take these eyes, Mikoto said as she unsealed the eyes. But these eyes Rin was cut off by Tsunade. She will explain later, Tsunade said as she took the eyes from Mikoto and started the surgery. I will come and check on him later, Mikoto said as she vanished in a puff of smoke. 2 weeks later in the The next thing that Naruto knew, he was lying in a bed in a hospital bed. He tried to open his eyes but found that he was stopped by something covering them. Reaching up to touch his eyes, he felt the coarse but soft texture of gauze. Suddenly he was racked with a fit of pain as the adrenaline of his awakening wore off. He groaned and winced in pain. It wasn't until someone spoke up that he realized someone was in the room. Naruto-kun, it is good to see you are awake, said Rin. Rin-chan, what happened? Naruto managed to groan out while he winced. It would seem that you were attacked by someone and left for dead, Rin said. You were found by a woman named Kushina. Rin-chan, what's with my eyes? Naruto interrupted Rin. Although he couldn't see it, Rin cringed before she answered. I was about to explain that. It seems that for whatever reason, someone damaged your eyes beyond our healing abilities, Rin said. This elicited a gasp of shock from Naruto. Does this mean I'm blind? He asked through gasps of breath. He began to cry at the prospect of never being able to see again. No, Rin said. Thanks to Mikoto-sama and Tsunade-sama, a famous medic nin, she was able to transplant Shisui's eyes into you. It is very rare indeed, but it was vital to your survival that every place that blood could leak out from was plugged. That included your eyes. I have some dead guy's eyes in my head, Naruto yelled. Yes, Naruto-kun, I suppose you do. Rin chuckled. Naruto, those eyes are very special. They hold the bloodline limit of the Uchiha clan. What is it? Naruto asked. It's a special ability that is passed down through someone's family. It is the Sharingan, Rin explained. Wow, that's cool, Naruto replied. Naruto-kun, I also found out that your whole body is adapting and changing from the genes in the eye. For all we know you could have a totally different. Rin said. Naruto just lay in bed digesting all of the new information he had just learned. Naruto, did you see who did this? Rin asked as Naruto described the man. Shit, it was Itachi. Mikoto-sama went like this. Rin-chan, how long was I out for? Did anything happen? He asked. To answer your first question, you were unconscious for about 2 weeks. Now, Naruto, the second thing is pretty bad. Itachi, that is the name of the man that attacked you. He murdered his entire family, except for his little brother, Sasuke, sister Annika, and mother Mikoto, Rin said in a sad voice. This means that there are only a few people left in the world with the same kinds of eyes you have. Naruto just sat there in silence. He didn't know what to do. He was only 10 for crying out loud, and he just found out that he had some dead guy's eyes in his head and the dead guy's family was dead. This day just couldn't get any weirder. He fell asleep with those thoughts. Oh, how wrong he was. After checking up on Naruto, Tsunade made her way back to her room. She had a meeting to conduct with her sensei, and it wasn't going to be good. As she entered her room, she saw Rin waiting for her. She was holding a standard medical file with all of the information they could gain from Naruto while he was unconscious. Everything seems to be fine, Tsunade-sama, Rin said. There is one interesting thing. You know he was an orphan, right? Tsunade just nodded. Well, I ran a DNA test like you asked with some extra blood samples we had, and well, you should look at them yourself. She handed Tsunade the folder. When she opened it, she stared at a complete genetic profile of the blonde. However, what grabbed her attention was the report that Rin had written up. Kushina was right, Tsunade said. Who else has seen this? She demanded. Only you and I have seen the report, she stated calmly. Tsunade began to massage her temples as she felt a migraine coming on. Do you know how this could have happened? Tsunade asked. I have no idea, although I shudder to think of how she'll take this, Rin said. Tsunade's office. Hey Tsunade, is it him? She asked for a look of excitement passing through her purple eyes. Yes Kushina, it's him. Tsunade said. Kushina's eyes grew wide at those words and she collapsed into a chair, grasping her breath and shaking her red hair in such a manner and started to cry as Rin comforted her. Then her mood changed. So, you're saying that my Sachi-kun is alive? But he told me he was dead, Kushina yelled through ragged breaths. Why? Why did he lie to me then? She demanded. I don't know Kushina, but let's ask the Hokage, Tsunade suggested. Hospital. As they arrived at Naruto's room, they saw the Hokage about to go in. "You bastard," Kushina yelled as she withdrew her katana and attacked the Hokage, but he blocked it with his staff. "Kushina, what is the meaning of this?" the Hokage said as he dodged a slash at his head. "You lied to me, you told me my son was dead. When he was really alive," Kushina said as she took another swing at the Hokage. "But, your son really is dead," Hokage said while dodging again. "No, he is not, he is the boy I rescued 2 weeks ago," Kushina replied. "No, not your son, that boy is an orphan. Your eyes are playing tricks on you," Hokage said. "Orphan my ass, Rin did a DNA and it proved that he is my son," Kushina yelled. "Is that true?" the Hokage asked Rin. "Yes," Hokage-sama Rin replied. "I didn't know Kushina knew if I did," the Hokage as he dodged another slash thrown at him. "Don't lie to me, how could you not know?" Kushina yelled as her Kanata stated to glow devil's play G. "Shit, I'm dead," the old Hokage said. "Kushina, wait, hear me out, when your son was born, he had red hair, right?" the third asked. "Yes, straight red hair and my purple eyes," Kushina replied, but her Kanata was still glowing. "Danzo came to me with 2 boys. One of them had blonde hair and blue eyes with whisker marks and the other had straight red hair, no whisker marks with purple eyes, but the red hair was dead. Plus, I saw the body get buried myself and so did many other people," the third replied. "Don't lie to me," Kushina yelled. "Kushina, I had no intention of lying to you about this," the third said. "Then why didn't you tell me about the next boy? I could have taken care of him," Kushina replied. "Why would you?" the third asked. "Because of that team ruining his life. It was the least I could have done," Kushina replied. "Why do you hate your husband so much? He was only trying to save the village," the third asked when he felt her Kai increase. "Don't ever call him that. Now he is nothing to me," Kushina fired back as she punched the wall, destroying it, and walked away. "I am going to see Danzo right now," Kushina demanded. "There's no way that I'm letting him get away with this. I'm going to kill him," Kushina yelled. "No, let me handle Danzo," the third said. "I want to see him now," Kushina shouted. "No. As your Hokage, I order you to stop now," the third yelled as Kushina walked up to his face. "You can always try, old man," Kushina said as she shattered the glass and appeared behind him and about to swing her Kanata at his head when Tsunade caught her hand. "Shit. She is a lot faster than before, thank you, Tsunade Hokage." "Kushina, stop. If you attack the Hokage you will be executed and you will never see your son again," Tsunade said. "You're right. I am going to see my son," Kushina said as she went into his room. "Thank you, Tsunade," the third said. "I didn't do it for you, I did it for Kushina and her son," Tsunade said as she entered the room followed by Rin. Naruto room. Kushina's face was a mixture of emotions. Happy and sad were interchanged with anger and fury. She was grateful for the chance to be a part of her son's life, sad that he had been hospitalized in critical condition for the past 2 weeks, and angry at Danzo for what he did as she looked at her sleeping son. "Kushina, I have something to show you," said a voice. "What is Shizune?" Kushina replied. "Kushina, in the DNA results, Rin found some very interesting information. It seems that Naruto has a large number of genetic markers in common with an Uchiha, as well as Minato and yourself." Shizune said. This elicited a loud gasp from Tsunade and a blank look from Kushina. "Are you saying that my Sachi-kun has my bloodline, as well as that team?" she questioned. "Yes, I am, but is he fat?" Rin was cut off by a growl from Kushina. "Sorry, I never knew the Namikazes had a bloodline. The theme never liked to talk about it because it skipped his generation. It was the legendary Rinnegan." The rest of the occupants in the room gasped. Then Rin continued after getting her voice back. "You see, during his assault, Itachi damaged his eyes so badly that they had to be removed. When you found him, and with the help of Makoto-sama, Tsunade was able to transplant the eyes of Uchiha Shisui to stem the large amount of blood loss he was experiencing. So the genes in the eye were absorbed and modified. Though what's weird is that the results we are getting is that the eye is mutating as well. So with the information you just gave me, it's possible that Naruto awakened both the Rinnegan and Sharingan and merged them with your bloodline," Rin said. "Wait, what about Kyuubi? Does that mean that he is part demon or something?" Tsunade asked, shocked at Rin's analytical analysis of Naruto's abilities. "My son isn't a demon, it must be the side effect of having the demon sealed in him," Kushina said, glaring at the. "Calm down, you two," Shizune said. "If what Rin said is correct, Naruto must be subjected to someone's DNA to change. Since the Kyuubi is sealed inside of him, then there is no fear of him becoming a demon. Besides, we have a full DNA write-up. He's 100% human, only just like Kushina with instant regeneration, senses beyond that of, and possibly immortality. But, what's to stop someone from putting their blood into him?" He'll keep on changing, and that won't be good. Kushina worried that her son may end up a power-hungry fiend. I believe that the ability is either fading or slowing down completely just like it did with Kushina because he adopted the genes of the Kyuubi within a matter of minutes. But this time it took almost the entire 2 weeks he was unconscious for the changes to occur. Do you have those reports, Shizune? Rin asked. Hi, his DNA had been slowly changing over the period of the past 2 weeks and the changes were mostly minimal. I would need to run more tests, but I think that this ability is either being overwritten in his own DNA or it is being stopped as to prevent further damaging Naruto. Shizune deduced. Now, said Rin, what do you say about meeting your son? Had they not turned to wake up Naruto, they would have noticed the face with yellow eyes watching them as it licked its lips and laughed. Naruto-kun, you will be mine soon. It said before it vanishes. They put up a privacy seal. Naruto wakes up, Rin said, as she shakes him. Rin-chan is what Naruto said as he stood up. Yes, it's me, Rin replied. Is it time to take this blindfold off? Naruto asked. Yes, it is time, Rin said as he took off the blindfold and the light entered his eyes, blinding for a second. When his Sharingan eye in the form of Shisui Manjukam Sharingan adapted to the light, he looked around and saw 3 of the most beautiful women he had ever seen. A blonde hair one, a black hair one, and finally a redhead. Who are you? Naruto asked. Naruto, this Tsunade, the one I told you about, Rin replied as she pointed to the blonde one. Thank Tsunade-sama, Naruto replied. Don't worry about what Naruto, Tsunade said. And this is what her apprentice Shizune, Rin said as she pointed to the black hair one. Nice to meet you, Shizune-san, Naruto said. You too, Naruto-dan, Shizune replied. And this Kushina, she is the one that saved you, Rin said, pointed to the redhead. Thank you, Kushina-san, for saving me, even though a monster like me doesn't deserve it, Naruto replied sadly. Why do you think you are a monster? Kushina asked as tears fell down her cheek. That's what the villagers say to me as they beat me, Naruto said as all the women began to cry. Why is this woman crying? Kushina could take it anymore and she lounges at him. Sachi, I'm sorry, if I knew you were alive I would have stayed and protected you, Kushina said as she cried on Naruto. Hey, stop that. I don't know you, lady, and stop calling me your son because I won't fall for that again, Naruto said as he pushed her away. That made Kushina cry even harder. I am your mother, Kushina replied. You're not my mother. I heard my mother was a whore who abandoned me just so she could spread her legs for strange men. Naruto shouted, which made Kushina cry even harder. Naruto, she really is your mother. Rin shouted. So it was true, you really did abandon me. Naruto shouted as he lunged at Kushina but was caught by some chains. Let me go, you bitch, I don't want anything to do with you. Naruto shouted. Please Sachi, give me a chance to explain myself. I love you, said a crying Kushina. No. Naruto shouted. Naruto, stop, she thought you were dead. She didn't abandon you. Tsunade shouted, comforting a crying Kushina. Why should I believe you? Naruto replied. Because I believe her, Rin said. She was shocked by Naruto. Rin-chan, I thought you were on my side, Naruto said. I am, just listen to her story before you judge her, Rin replied as Naruto looked at her. Give her a chance to say the voice. Fine, Naruto muttered. He knew Rin was right, he could at least hear her out. Thank you, Sachi, Kushina said and explained herself. So you think the Hokage lied to you? Naruto replied as Kushina nodded her head. I don't believe that the old man would ever do that to me. He is always the one that saves me from the mob. Naruto shouted. Naruto calms down and thinks about it. I don't want to believe it, but it's true, Rin said. Naruto started thinking about it when he remembered how the Hokage always came after the mob had beaten him. He would have them arrested, then he would give Naruto the speech on how he should forgive them. The worst of all was that the people that had beaten him were freed the next day, and when he asked the Hokage about it, he changed the subject or said there was no witness to support the case. Then he would wake up in his apartment, not knowing how he got there. Naruto started to cry. He could not believe the the Hokage could do that to him as the tears came down. Rin and Shizune pushed Kushina towards him to comfort him. She went over and put her arms around Naruto and pulled him into her chest. Mom, I am so sorry for doubting you. I don't deserve your love, Naruto said. Don't worry, Naruto-kun, mommy will always love you, Kushina said while she begins to cry too. She held him as if her life depended on it. I am so sorry for Naruto-kun, she repeated. Suddenly she senses a powerful Ki coming towards her. Her chain came out of the ground, capturing a raven hair woman in a birdcage. You bitch, stay away from Naruto, said a voice as she attacks Kushina, who easily dodges it. Makoto-chan, why are you attacking me? Kushina asked. Don't Makoto-chan me, you bitch, you abandoned Naruto, Makoto shouted as she attacks Kushina again, who dodges again. No, I didn't, stop attacking me and let me explain, Kushina replied, but Makoto wasn't listening. Maiko-chan, stop. Naruto shouted. But Naruto was cut off. "Let her explain," Naruto replied. "Fine," Makoto said as she listened to Kushina's story. "Just answer me one question. Did you get my letters?" Makoto asked. "What letters?" asked a surprised Kushina. "So the Hokage lied to me, he told me you got my letters," Makoto replied. "The only things we got was mission scrolls and nothing else," Tsunade said. "What was in those letters?" Kushina asked. "When we first saw Naruto he acted like you and had your last name, so we thought he was your son, but when we asked the Hokage he denied our claims, saying it was just a coincidence, and when we asked where you were he said that you didn't want anybody to know where you were. So we drop it. 2 months after observing him we decided to send you a letter by putting it in the mission scroll, but we got no response, so after a year of trying we gave up," Makoto said. "So why didn't you adopt him?" Kushina asked. "The Hokage and our husbands would stop us, so we decided to protect him from the shadows," Makoto replied. "Damn it, you are always ruining my life, one day you will," Naruto thought. "So who did this to Naruto-kun?" Makoto asked, but they were all hesitant until Rin told her everything. Right before Naruto could say anything, Makoto was in front of Naruto and crushing in between her valley of hair Upai. Makoto was a very beautiful woman with long raven hair, slim shapely body, and lovely Upai. Although she was in her late 30s, she looked like a woman in her late 20s. "Are you alright?" Makoto asked with tears in her eyes. "I'm okay, Makoto-chan," Naruto said as he hugged her back. "How can it be okay when my son did this to you?" Makoto said, still crying. "Makoto-chan, please stop crying. I hate to see a beautiful woman cry." "I'm okay," Naruto replied as he started rubbing her back. "Blush instantly and stop crying if you say so, Naruto-kun," Makoto said in his warm embrace. Then they were interrupted when they heard Rin's cough. Rin coughed. "We have a problem. The old man will soon arrive. What should we do?" "We will act like everything is okay," Kushina said as everybody nodded their heads in agreement. "But what about Naruto's eyes? We can't let them see them. We don't know what they will do," Shizune asked. "You're right," Rib replied. "Leave that to me," Kushina said as she channeled her chakra into her hands as she touched Naruto's stomach. "Please protect Naruto-kun," as Naruto's eyes turned back to his normal blue eyes. "Kushina, did you just use Kate?" Tsunade was cut off by Makoto's hand. After more planning on how they will be acting when the Hokage came in later. The Hokage walked in and heard. "It's good to see you, Koch, and you look beautiful. I really like your long red hair. I wonder what I look like with your hair," said Naruto, missing Kushina's blush. "Thank you, Sachi," said Kushina. Tsunade then introduced herself, then gave him a hug, crushing him with her big beautiful Upai, while Naruto hugged her back and rested his face into Upai, making him blush. Seeing this, Kushina, Shizune, and Rin started to laugh. "The boy has good taste," said the Hokage, surprising them. "Yeah, right," while blood started to leak out of his nose. Tsunade saw this and a vein started to twitch on her forehead. Then you could hear the scream of the Hokage as he was flying across the village. When the Sandaime returned from his trip, Rin told Naruto everything during the operation, leaving out everything they don't want the Hokage to know. Long story short, Naruto was shocked. They talked some more before Naruto fell asleep, then they left. After they left, a figure came out of the shadows and poured something in a sleeping Naruto mouth. "Soon, Naruto, you will be mine, ku, 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 ku," then it sank back into the shadows. 2 days later. "Where do you live?" Kushina asked. Naruto led her to the apartment. The old man said that it was the best he could get. Kushina looked at the apartment in disbelief. "You're joking, right?" she asked. "No, come look." Naruto led her into the apartment. He opened the door and Kushina looked around. "I don't have anything besides a bed, a few chairs, and a refrigerator I found around in the village," Naruto told her. Kushina walked around the apartment, barely holding her anger. "I am going to kill those bastards," she growled as she walked up to the refrigerator that looked like it had been through war and opened it and saw some milk and ramen. "These expire last year. They won't sell me anything fresh no matter where I go unless Makoto or Rin-chan is with me, and they can't always be with me, so I just have to buy them." "Well, it won't happen again because I am here now," Kushina said as she walked up to Naruto and hugged him. 3 years later. Uzumaki compound. They lived in a mansion on a vast estate neighboring the Hyugas. They were wealthy because of all the money she made on her missions. She even built a garden behind the house after an incident where they were almost poisoned. Kushina went on a rampage, destroying a stall that belonged to the vendors that sold them the food before killing them. It took the combined effort of her friend, Mikoto, Hitomi, and Yoshino to calm her down. The Hokage had called her into his office after that and asked her why she had done that to the vendors who were no real threat to her. Kushina almost blew a gastric and attacked the Hokage, but her friends held her back before she replied that if poisoning them wasn't a threat, then she knew what was, and she even told the Hokage that if she caught any uninvited guest on her property, then she won't hesitate to kill them even if it was him. Throughout those years Kushina trained Naruto in anything and everything that she knew and what his body can handle. When she was done she wanted Naruto to be able to protect himself when she had to go on a mission. 2 years later. Naruto entered the classroom and introduced himself to the class before the teacher told him to take a seat. As Naruto walked up the stairs he could feel the ki coming from some of the students, but he ignored them and took his seat beside a Hyuga who had the usual Hyuga stare. "Hi, my name is Naruto, do you mind if I sit?" Naruto asked, but she just looked at him and she just ignored him. "So this is Kushina's son." The girl had a confused look on her face. "Mom told me to try and make friends with him, but dad told me not to, who should I listen to?" "So this is Hitomi-chan's daughter," Naruto looking at her. She has dark blue hair which reaches her back and fair skin, traits that she inherited from her Hitomi. It's a shame she doesn't have a Hitomi personality. Naruto was about to ask her something when a raven-haired girl approached him. "Naruto Uzumaki," she asked. "Mom was right, he is cute, it's shame dad forbid me from visit him when mom does." "Yes, that's me," Naruto replied as he looked at the girl with raven color hair which reached her shoulders and black eyes. She looks just like Makoto-chan and she is so friendly. "Then come with me," she replied as she put out her hands. "The teacher is glaring at us," Naruto said as the girl looked at the teacher before turning back to him. "I'm an elite Uchiha, I don't answer to anybody," the girl replied. "I see, but am I okay with my seat?" Naruto said. "I don't want a cute guy like you getting corrupted by this Hyuga bitch," the Uchiha said. Hearing this, the Hyuga turned around. "What did you call me?" the Hyuga girl asked. "Are you deaf? I call you a bit," the Uchiha did finish as a palm thrust hit her in her stomach, sending her across the room crashing into a desk, knocking her out. The teacher rushes her to the school hospital, but not before he gives the Hyuga girl detention after class. After class. As the Hyuga came from detention she was suddenly surrounded by 10 boys about a year older. "So the great Annika Uchiha could not fight me herself, so she decided to bring back up," the Hyuga said as she got into a fighting stance. "I don't need them to beat you, Hana Hyuga, but I don't want to get myself dirty." The Uchiha now known as Annika said as she looked at the boys. "Get her. Bring it on," the Hyuga known as Hana shouted as she fought them off as much as possible until they finally overpowered her. They held her down and started ripping off her clothes. "Hey guys, stop that." Annika realized that the guys were taking it too far, but they ignored her. "Finally, Hyuga bitch, I can do what I wanted to do with you the first time I saw you," a boy said as he ripped off her panties. "You always thought you were better than us," said another as he ripped off her bra. "Stop this, it's not what I wanted," Annika yelled as she kicked one of the boys off Hana, but the rest overpowered her. Now she was in the same position as Hana. "Finally I get to sample a Hyuga's pussy," one of the boys said. "Yeah, and I get to sample an Uchiha's pussy," another boy said while the rest hold down both girls. The girls are side by side as the girls scream for someone to help them. Some of students heard the girls scream, but when they saw that it was a Hyuga and Uchiha they just ignore them. That what they get for being stuck up bitches. The two boy took out their cock and was about to enter them when suddenly their dick fell to the ground. Wind release wind blade. "What the hell?" The others turned around to see Naruto glaring at them. "Who wants to be next?" Naruto said in a cold voice as he ran through some more seal wind R. The boys shouted as they ran off. "Are you girls alright?" Naruto said as he walked up to the girls only for the girls tackle him to the ground and began to cry on his shoulders while Annika kept on apologizing to Hana. "And I sorry, I never meant it to go this far," Annika said. "Why should I forgive you?" Hana said as she lifts her head out of Naruto embrace. "I know we have never seen eye to eye before, but I am sorry for what happened to you," Annika said as she cried even more. She did come to her senses and try to stop them. "Hana, fine, but trust is something that you earn." "Thank you, Hana," Annika said. Then she put out her hands. "Can we start over and be friends? My name is Annika Uchiha," as Hana accepted it. "Hana Hyuga, nice to meet you," Hana said. Then they both turned to Naruto as he puts his hands on top of theirs. "Naruto Uzumaki," Naruto said as they remove their hands. Hana walks up to Naruto and kisses him on his cheeks. "What was that for?" a shocked Naruto asked as a blush appeared on his face. "For saving my life," Hana replied, and before he could say anything another lips attached itself to his other cheek. It was Annika. "Thanks for saving my life too, Naruto-kun," Annika said with a blush on her face. This day was the start of a beautiful friendship between the two girls and the love war over Naruto. 1 year later. Naruto was coming from training late at night when out of nowhere he heard the sound of chirping birds. Chidori. He turned around to see a goat mask and that was the last thing he saw and heard. "That was for my teacher." Mindscape. Naruto opened his eyes to find himself in a wet, decrepit, sewer-like hallway. Leaking pipes hung from the ceiling over his head and the water on the floor went up to his knees. Naruto suddenly found himself in front of a massive cage. The bars must have been over 100 feet in height, but there was no lock on them. Instead there was a piece of white paper with a kanji for seal on it in black. Well, so my container comes to greet me. I was wondering when you would be coming here. Naruto felt the ground tremble as he heard the loud voice. He looked into the cage. As steam began to come out from between the bars, Naruto's eyes widened as a toothy grin appeared along with a set of glowing crimson orbs. So to what do I show this pleasure, little one? Naruto looked up at the creature as more of its body was revealed. Hey Kyuubi no wa Yoko? The Kyuubi smiled as it winked at Naruto. Correct, you aren't as dumb as I thought you were. The smirk on Kyuubi's features made the blonde incredibly nervous. Suddenly the Kyuubi began to shrink as it began to take a new form. When the Kyuubi finished its transformation, there was a human figure lying on the ground. Naruto's eyes widened when he saw it, or rather her features. She had crimson red hair that fell to the small of her back. She had a pale complexion, long slender arms, a perfect Hercules figure, and an impressive set of upai. She looked to be about 15 years old. As she stood up, she revealed her whole form completely naked. Naruto blushed crimson red as he stared into her crimson eyes. So do you like what you see? Naruto did not know whether it was her looks in general or if it was how she said it, but he did the first thing that seemed logical. He fainted. If you people are having any trouble with Kyuubi's human form, just think Kurama from Rosario, vampire with crimson hair and red slit eyes. But you are awake, Kyuubi said. Naruto seemed puzzled for a moment. Where am I? Kyuubi sweat dropped. We're currently inside your mind. You were attacked. Oh. Naruto looked around. So what now? We can hang out while I heal Kyuubi and they talk. He found out her name and how she became the Kyuubi, but she did not tell him why she attacked the village. Finally, I finish healing you, Naruto-kun, Kurama said. Thanks, Kurama-hime, Naruto replied as he hugged her as she blushed. Be welcome, Naruto-kun, Kurama said as she crushes him into her DTUPI, making him blush. Can we talk again? Naruto said as he let go of her. Anytime you want, just come visit me, Kurama replied. Good night, Kurama-hime. And with that, Naruto vanishes. Kurama smiled. Good night, Naruto-kun. Real World Hospital. Naruto wakes up to see Kushina in his bed as Naruto sits up and the movement wakes up Kushina. Naruto-kun, thank God, Kushina said as she hugged him, but he did not respond. Mother and son looked at each other for a moment. Naruto sighed. When were you going to tell me about Kurama? So he finally met Kushina. I was planning to tell you sometime before you became a genin. It's okay, Mom, Naruto said with a smile on his face. So you are not mad? Kushina asked. Nope, it is the best thing that ever happens to me, Naruto replied as he hugs her. Anyway, who attacks you? Kushina asked. I can't remember what, Naruto replied. Okay, but from now on I will increase your training, Kushina said. The next day. Naruto, I would like to introduce you to your new secret senseis. For Kinjutsu would be Yugao, for Taijutsu would be Gai, for Jinjutsu, and for Ninjutsu, Kushina said. Why can't you, Mikoto, Yoshino, and Hitomi teach me? Naruto asked. Because none of us have the time right now, Kushina replied. Okay, who do I have tomorrow? Naruto asked. That will be me, my very youthful friend, Gai shouted. That was the day that Naruto met a man that would haunt Naruto dreams. As they were about to leave, Kushina asked Gai to stay a minute. If my son comes back dressed and acting like you, I will show you how youthful my Hinata is, Kushina said to a now scared Gai. The next day at Gai's dojo. Mido Gai sat in the middle of the dojo room as Naruto entered wearing his required uniform. You're on time, Gai spoke sternly, making Naruto nod. So what will you teach me? Naruto asked. Nothing, Gai replied. What do you mean by nothing? Naruto yelled. I mean nothing yet. Every day after school on Mondays you will be running around the village 100 times on your hands, 100 sit-ups, 100 one-hand push-ups, 200 wall-clinking pull-ups and push-ups while wearing 100 pounds of weight, Gai replied as he gave Naruto the weight suit to put on. Are you crazy? Naruto yelled back. Make it 200, Gai said. Stop complaining and do it, Kurama said. Then Naruto replied. 5 months later. Naruto got used to all of Gai's crazy workout. You are here early, Gai said as Naruto nodded. Good, now I can tell you about the 8 gates. Naruto now sat on the floor in front of Gai. Now for the required period to learn the 8 gates is 5 months. In 1 week I will see how many gates you can open, and that's when I know it's your limit. You do not go beyond that limit until I tell you. That Gai looked serious as Naruto nodded back as they started the session. For the first lesson I will tell you about the 8 gates. Naruto nodded. The 8 gates are 8 specific points on a person's chakra pathway system. They limit the overall flow of chakra within a person's body. Gai lectured as he carried on the basis that the idea of the chakra gates comes from the body's limits on the functions within it. This makes the body much weaker, but it keeps the body from expiring too soon. In order to avoid this, one has to undergo intense training. To open these gates allows the user to surpass their own physical limits at the cost of extreme damage to their own bodies. Do you get me so far? Naruto the Uzumaki nodded as he absorbed everything. Now let's get into detail about what these 8 gates are. Guy got up now as he started to walk around Naruto, who was still sitting. First is the gate of opening. This is located in the brain. This gate removes the restraints of the brain on the muscles, so 100% of their strength can be used, whereas normally, a person can only use 20% of their muscle strength to keep them from disintegrating. Unlocking this gate allows the user to use the front lotus. Naruto nodded as Guy moved on. Second is the gate of healing. This is also located in the brain. This gate forcibly increases one's physical strength and temporarily re-energizes the body. Third is the gate of life. This is located on the spinal cord. It allows the user to use the reverse lotus. The increased blood flow turns the skin red. Fourth is the gate of pain. This is located on the spinal cord. This gate increases the user's speed and power, resulting in it may cause muscle tissue to tear up. Fifth is the gate of limit, increases the user's speed and power. This is located in the abdomen. Sixth is the gate of view, increases the user's speed and power. This is located in the stomach. Seventh is the gate of wonder, per above, this is located below the stomach. This gate will turn you into an almost unstoppable powerhouse. Eighth is the gate of death, this located at the heart. Releasing this gate uses up all of the body's energy. It makes the heart pump at maximum power and exceeds the power of every other gate. Opening this gate assures the user's death shortly after. Together they are the 8 gates. Guy now sits on the floor again. Any questions about Naruto? Naruto listened intently as he nodded and asked one important question. Can you use techniques when you are using the 8 gates? Guy shook his head negatively. The 8 gates is the ultimate form of taijutsu. Using ninjutsu will kill you because of the amount of chakra that is leaked out thanks to the 8 gates. Naruto frowned. Okay, do we start learning it now? Guy nodded as he got back up. Yes, we have time. I will see how many gates you can open when the training is over. Naruto nodded as he got up with Guy. Guy then walked forward towards outside. Come Naruto, let's begin. Naruto smiled as he walked after his teacher. He will have to show his determination. 5 months later. The 16-year-old Naruto is wearing a black cloak with red flames around the whirlpool symbol on it. Under it there he is wearing Anbu clothes. He is walking home with Hana to his left and to his right Annika. Hana is wearing the traditional but tight Hyuga clothes to show off her curvy figure, see kapupai, and her long beautiful hair. Annika is wearing a female version of what Sasuke wears with the Uchiha fan. She was not as curvy as Hana but still looked good, a mini version of Mikoto with a see kapupai. The two girls were currently shooting eye lighting at each other. He's mine Hyuga bitch, you will never get him, thought Annika. Get your hands off him Uchiha whore, he's mine, and I don't share thoughts with Hana as they made their way to training at training ground 12. Night. Kushina was still training when she heard the doorbell. She opened the door to see a girl Naruto's age with a normal katana, with the exception of the guard, which is in the shape of a 4-pointed bronze-colored star. Its hilt is light blue and sheath dark blue on her back. Kushina-sama, would you train me to use this? The girl said as she pointed to her sword. Why did Kushina realize it was one of the girls Naruto had saved? Because I want to save Naruto someday like he did for me, the girl replied. Then why don't you train with Naruto and his friends? Kushina asked. I want to surprise him, the girl replied. Alright, you torture I mean training begins now, Kushina said as they dragged the girl into the house. The next day in class. So today is the day, said Naruto, glad to soon be out of the academy, and the girls nodded their heads in excitement, knowing today will be the day of the graduation. Time skip. Naruto was taking a walk through the streets, glad he and the girls passed the exam, but he suddenly notices Mizuki and Iruka running to the forest and decides to follow them. Finally, we just need to get to the gates and we will be home free, Iruka, said Mizuki. You're right, Mizuki, Iruka replied. Really, from the way things look right now, you're just going to die, said Naruto, appearing in front of Mizuki. He kicked Mizuki in his chest, forcing him to let go of the scroll. Iruka ran through a few hand signs, shouted, "Die demon brat, this is for my parents' fire release," a great ball of fire, and shot out a giant fireball at Naruto. Naruto just stand with a bored look on his face, then he run through some hand seal and slam his hand into the ground and set earth release. Earth-style wall and a giant wall block the fireball. Suddenly Mizuki appear behind Naruto and shove a short blade into his skull as Naruto vanish in a puff of smoke. Shit, a shadow clone, where the hell is he? Yelled Mizuki. We don't have time, let's deliver the scroll to Lord Orochimaru, said Iruka. As they were about to leave they heard a voice shout, water release. water whale bullet technique, and a giant whale came crashing down at them, forcing them to split up and run in different locations. But Mizuki. You thought you could get away, a voice said. "Come out, Kyuubi brat, so I can kill you," yelled Mizuki as he looked around for Naruto. Suddenly a shout "OFKAIMONTH" opening, then Naruto appeared in front of him, front lotus, and Mizuki received a bone-crushing kick to the jaw. You could hear the cracking of bone as he flew into the trees. With Iruka. Iruka was jumping from tree to tree when Naruto appeared in front of him. "Give me scroll or I will kill you," Naruto said. "Like you could kill me, demon brat," yelled Iruka, charging at him as he ran through a couple of and signs fire release. Great fireball technique shooting it at him. Naruto just stood there letting it hit him when the fire clear. Naruto was nowhere in sight. "Is that all you have, Iruka?" "I'm very disappointed," replied Naruto on the opposite side of Iruka, yawning. Iruka starts seeing red and charges at Naruto, not seeing the smile on Naruto's face as they engage in a taijutsu spar with Iruka gaining the upper hand when Naruto chakra spike and Naruto vanishes. Suddenly Naruto appeared behind Iruka and stabbed him in his back when poof. Iruka was replaced with a log substitution technique. At that moment, Naruto fell 2 spike through his stomach. Earth release. Earth spike. Iruka came from behind a tree with a smile on his face, seeing Naruto being impaled by the spikes. "I'll be hero for killing the 9-tailed Iruka." Suddenly he heard several chirping bird Chidori and Naruto was in front of him. He could see Naruto's red slit eyes as Naruto's hand went through his chest. "How?" he replied. "Blood clone," Naruto whispered in his ears. Iruka slumped forward, his hand landing on Naruto's shoulder as he held the pose of stabbing Iruka. A grin spread on the older man's mouth as his life force drained out on the earth below and he whispered a few choice words to Naruto as his last revenge. "Remember this, boy, remember me as your first kill. The first blood on your hands, remember why you are a monster," Iruka said as he coughed up blood. Then he fell back and hit the ground as the Naruto in front of him turned into blood. But Mizuki. Oten. Earth Fisher. Mizuki slammed his fist into the ground and Naruto felt the ground shake around him and realized where he was standing was not as safe. The ground collapsed in on itself and took several trees with it. Naruto leaped off the ground onto a tree limb. He didn't get much time to recover though as Mizuki came up and kicked him right in the gut, sending him back and forcing him into a tree. "Let's see your girlfriend save you from this time, 9 tails." Mizuki grabbed a kunai and ran forward, knowing that the boy got the wind knocked out of him and wouldn't be able to move. Naruto watched as Mizuki charged him. "Should I used up too much chakra on my first attacks? What the hell took Kurama so long?" He knew he only had enough chakra for one attack alone, he just had to make it count. "Yahoo Naruto-kun, I'm back, did you miss me?" Kurama shouted. "Could you give me some chakra?" Naruto replied. "Anything for you Naruto-kun," Kurama said as Mizuki charged at Naruto. As he reached closer to stab, Naruto dodges his attack, then Mizuki was sent flying into the trees. "Shit, that kick broke 3 of my ribs, Mizuki. Is that all you have?" As he got up when Naruto appeared in front of him with his Manjukam Sharingan activated. "Tsukiyomi." In the world of Tsukiyomi. Mizuki was chained to a bed while he was being raped by Orochimaru for the 72 hours as he screams, "Ann. Too troublesome to write." Real world. Screaming was heard through the village. The memory of what Iruka had said to him came back and what he had just done. "Mom was right," Naruto said. Flashback 2 years. Naruto had just killed a man that had attacked him when he went to the bathroom and now he was in the hospital treating his injuries. He looked up and saw his mother. She was not surprised to see some tears there. Rin-chan said that the path of the shinobi was the path of death and glory. She also said that we must always be ready to kill or die to protect our village. That is what it means to be shinobi. He sighed. It's the same thing that you, Hit-chan, Mik-chan, Yash-chan, and Tsu-chan have all told me. I understand it, it's just. The reality is never how you picture it to be. She said simply. She gently wiped his tears away and smiled at him proudly. Taking a life should never be done without reason. When we kill, we do so in self-defense or in the service of our village, which is what separates us from murderers or bandits. As long as you are acting under any one of those 2 circumstances, do not doubt that your actions are just. Does it get easier? He asked. She nodded. It does. In time you will learn to simply kill and not feel. He shuddered a bit. That sounds awful. She slowly nodded. In a way it is, but Naruto-kun, do you want to feel this every time you are forced to kill? Could you bear it? The girls and I have both killed many in our times and I think we are all good people with good hearts. But if we could not turn our heart off when we needed to, we would go mad. He looked at her unhappily. You turn your hearts off. Kushina nodded. We learn not to feel at those times. It is the only way to do it and stay sane. Mom, it sounds kind of cold-blooded. It is, son, but if you are a shinobi you cannot always afford to be human. She hugged him again and kissed him. do not misunderstand me. I do not mean to deaden your heart all the time, for that is just as bad as feeling too much. Be human, love, laugh, and even cry when your heart tells you to. You learn to do it when the time calls for it soon. Naruto looked at her and slowly nodded. I think I understand. Flashback end. The Anbu arrived only to see the scroll unharmed and the dead bodies of Iruka and Mizuki. In the trees Naruto was looking at Anbu smirking. I think it's time for me to head home, whispered Naruto in a very low voice. The Anbu decided to take the dead traitors and the scroll and leave. Then a yellow eyes figure appear licking its lips. My you have grown strong Naruto-kun, you soon be mine. Then it vanishes. A week later. Naruto was coming from training. They had not decided the team placement yet when he heard. Lee, my youthful student, you will be stronger than ever, Guy said, pumping his fist for emphasis. Guy-sensei, I will run 100 laps around the village, Lee yelled to his sensei. And if you do not run 100 laps around the village, I will do 500 push-ups. Guy boasted. And if you are not able to do 500 push-ups, then I will do 1000 jump ropes. Lee wailed, tears starting to form. Gosh Lee, your flames of youth burn brightly. Guy shouted as tears appeared in his eyes. It is all because of your tutelage, Guy-sensei. Screamed Lee as tears appeared in his eyes as well. Lee. Guy-sensei. Lee. Guy-sensei. Lee. Suddenly the two were hugging, tears falling from them like waterfalls. As they did, a sunset background appeared behind them, as well as a waterfall and a rainbow, as they continued to call each other's names. This guy decided to take my advice and a train academy student, Naruto said. Yeah, he was disappointed when you could only open the first gate, Kurama replied. Oh, you are whacked, Naruto said. Yeah, that noise wakes me up, Kurama replied. Few minutes later. Naruto was trekking back home. As he entered gates he was suddenly surrounded by 10 Anbu member with a root symbol on their forehead. Protector Lord Danzo would like you to join us, Dog Mask said. What if I don't want to join, to him replied Naruto. You don't have choice, either you join us or die, shouted the Dog Mask Anbu. Naruto begun to weigh his option, then he walked forward and said, alright, I join you, but first, where is my mother? She will be fine as long as you come with us, said the Dog Mask Anbu. Suddenly a man came flying out of the house and crashed right in front of him. When Naruto looked at him he had a broken dick, then another came flying out with the same problem. A furious but naked Kushina came flying out and punched the Dog Mask Anbu mask in his face, sending him flying into the trees. Naruto had to hold back a blush as looked at a half-naked Kushina with only a towel on. You were trying to rape my mother, I'm going to kill all of you, Naruto roared as the red charca begun to cover his body. Some of the Anbu began to sweat because of the powerful Ki that were directed at them. He appeared behind an Anbu and shoved his kunai through his chest while the others regained their senses and started attacking him at once. High-release fire dragon technique, they all shouted as a huge explosion that rocks the village. With Kushina. She was fighting off 5 Anbu and cut them down with her kanata one after another, Uzumaki style. Dance of the full moon then disappeared and all the Anbu suddenly fell to the ground dead. She heard the explosion. Naruto screamed as she was about to run over to him. 5 more Anbu appeared before her. But the Hokage. He was in his office when he heard the explosion. He saw that it was coming for the Uzumaki compound. He summoned his loyal Anbu cat. She had long purple hair. You guess who she is? Snake. She had short purple hair. Same with her and Tiger, and they all rushed to the compound. But Naruto. When the explosion cleared, Naruto was not there anymore. Looks as if we killed the demon brat, replied a nameless Anbu. Then he heard a voice, wind release. Flying swords of doom. 50 wind swords came flying at a fast speed, killing all the Anbu. Naruto came out of his hiding place as he stopped kneeling down and started to breathe hard as he had used too much chakra in that technique, and suddenly he heard chirping birds behind him. He turns around to see the goat mask Anbu and froze it, then his memory comes back. It was the same person that had attacked him years ago. As the attack was about to hit Naruto, a gentle hand pushed him away and took the attack for him. It was his mother who had taken the chidori for him right through her shoulder. She then kicked away the Anbu, then 10 more rude Anbu came out of nowhere surrounding her. Kushina tried to fight off all of them until a sword pierced her chest, then he saw them holding her down. Mom, Naruto shouted as he ran towards her with blind rage when something pierced his legs and shoulders. As he fell to the ground he heard. Loin now, said the goat mask Anbu. Mind destruction no jutsu, a Leomisk Anbu with blonde hair shouted. A few seconds later they both started to scream as they both fell to the ground. Goat went over to check on them. Shit, he is dead. The bitch mind is a lot stronger than we thought, he replied. I'm not strong enough to save her. This was where I killed Naruto, as the Anbu came in for the kill when a yellow eye figure appeared between them. The last thing Naruto heard was cuckoo cuckoo before darkness took over him. But the Hokage earlier. As they jumped from roof to roof, everybody was shocked to see a dome of about 50 wind blade on the far part of the village, surrounding a portion of the Uzumaki compound. "Move faster," shouted the Hokage. The yellow eye figure. "Fools, I won't allow you to touch my prize," the figure said, as it vanished. The rude Anubis fell to the ground, the only one to escape was the goat mask Root. The figure walks up to Naruto to look to see if he is alright, as it reaches Naruto and kneels down and exposes its fang to bite Naruto on his neck when it hears someone coming and vanishes. A moment later, the Hokage and his Anbu arrive to see the unconscious bloody bodies of Naruto, Kushina, and dead Root Anbu everywhere. "Halt, Tsunade," now yelled the Hokage. "That Root hideout." "Lord Danzo, we have failed you," Goat said. "What happened?" replied Danzo. As he told the story, Danzo had a frown on his face. "Was it Orochimaru?" said Danzo. "Not sure, I didn't see it face," replied Goat. "At least we got that blasting woman out of the way, we'll get him next time." At the hospital. Naruto woke up to see Hana, Annika, and Makoto crying at his bedside. "Stop crying, you know I can't bear to see beautiful ladies cry," said a weak Naruto. All three of them blush and hug him, drowning him in Upai. "Are Naruto-kun alright?" they all yelled. "I'm fine, ladies, but where is my mom? Is she alright?" he asked, nobody to answer. "Where is my mother?" Naruto yelled. "Calm down, she's alright, but she is in a coma and we don't know if she will ever come out of it," replied Tsunade. As she entered the room, Naruto held down his head and began to cry. "It's my fault," he said. "No, it's not," all the girls yelled. "Yes, it is. If I was strong enough I could have saved her," Naruto yelled. "Naruto-kun, stop saying that no one could defeat that many people, you did your best," said Hana. "Hana is right," Naruto replied to Makoto. She lifted up his face and brought it closer to hers. She could see that they weren't reaching him. Naruto breaks away from Makoto's grasp and gives her a smile. "Tsunade, take me to her," Naruto said. Tsunade motioned for him to follow him. As Naruto got out of the bed, the hospital goon fell of him, revealing a naked Naruto and his big member showing, but Naruto didn't even realize as he continued to walk, but the girls Makoto and Tsunade did. Makoto, Hana, and Annika blushed, then were blown back with a massive nosebleed. Tsunade had to use her training as a med to prevent from passing out from a massive nosebleed. As they walked through the hall where all the nurses were, when they saw Naruto, they all pass out from nosebleed. This continued until they reached Kushina's room. Patients and visitor, female only, alike pass out with nosebleed, while the men cursed Naruto. That day was known as the bloodiest day in the village history. In Kushina room. Kushina was there laying on the bed with tube coming out of her throat and hooked up to a life monitor. When Naruto saw his beautiful mother laying there, tears begun to fall from his eyes as he remembered what had happened to them and how powerless he was. That made him cry even harder. "Danzo is going to pay for this. I will get my revenge if it is the last thing I do." "But how, Naruto, though?" as he fell asleep. "Mindscape," Yahukurumu shouted as she tackles Naruto to the ground as Shiupai covers his face. "Get off me, I'm not in the mid," Naruto replied. "Sorry, Naruto-kun, I was just trying to cheer up my destiny," one Kurumu said. "Hear what?" Naruto asked. "Oh, nothing," Kurumu replied a little too quickly. "Right, the only way to cheer me up is to make me stronger," Naruto said. "Fine, but we will have to leave the village first," Kurama replied. "Are you crazy? I can't leave my mom alone," Naruto shouted. "I have that taken care of, just trust me," Kurama replied. "Fine, what do I have to do?" Naruto asked. For a few minutes. Naruto left Kushina's room, not seeing the red chakra surrounding her. Next day in the Hokage office. "No, Naruto, for the last I can't allow you to train outside the village, you have to do it with your team," yelled the Hokage. "I need to get stronger and get my revenge on Danzo. My teammates will only hold me back," Naruto yelled back. "Revenge is never the answer," yelled Hokage. "Whatever, old man, I'll go whether you approve or not," as he walk out. Naruto. "Take one more step and I will have to stop you by force if necessary," yelled the Hokage. Naruto stopped in place and turned around with his Manjikim Sharingan. "You can try," Naruto replied. Suddenly the Hokage was sent flying from his office window into a house. He saw Naruto running to the gate. The Hokage uses a technique to cut Naruto off Earth Release. Earth Box. 4 huge walls surround Naruto, trapping him. As the Hokage walks to detain Naruto, the box explodes as they hear a voice. Lighting Release. Lighting Lion Bullet. The lion charges at the Hokage, but he easily dodges it and the lion hits a building, killing the people in it. Naruto ran towards the gate again when he was hit by a very powerful wind. Wind Release. Great Barrier Wind. The attack sends him crashing into the wall. "Give up, Naruto, you can't escape me. If you give up now I'll forgive you for attack me," the Hokage said. "No, I can't do that. I need power to kill Danzo and get my revenge. I will come back into just 2 years, I'm begging you. You can even send someone to train me, please, Hokage-sama," Naruto said as he got on his knees with tears coming out of his eyes. "I sorry, Naruto, but I can't," replied the Hokage. Then you leave me with no choice. I will have to use my most powerful attack to kill you and leave, said Naruto as he called forth all the 9 tail chakra. Then he run through some sign that the Hokage had never seen before, and the Hokage run through some himself. Wind fire style. Wind fire dragon bullet, shouted the Hokage. Nova release. Big bang, roared Naruto, think Vegeta from Deep Easy attack. The two attacks collided, causing a great explosion, as it was clear you could see blonde hair running through the gate, but the Hokage was nowhere to be found. Release. Nice try Naruto, you almost got me, but Genjutsu won't work on me, and where did you get a Sharingan from? Said the Hokage. Naruto started to sweat as he used up a lot of chakra to cast a demonic illusion. False death as he fell to the ground. Mindscape. I told you it wouldn't work, Naruto shouted. Calm down Naruto-kun, there is still Genjutsu that will work on the old fool, Kurama replied. And what is that, Naruto asked. It is a surprise, you will just have to thrust me, Kurama replied. Fine, what should I do, Naruto asked. Just this, Kurama replied. What was that for, Naruto asked. In case, Kurama replied. In case what, Naruto asked. You die, Kurama replied, and before Naruto could reply, he vanished from his mindscape. Good luck Naruto-kun, yelled Kurama. Real world. As the Hokage came closer to retrieve him, he felt a surge of chakra force him back. Then Naruto stood up with his Manjukam Sharingan blazing KOTOAMATSUKAMI mind controlling jutsu. Hokage, you will let me leave the village for 2 years to train. You will tell the council that you are the one that sent me to train, and that you will send someone to watch me too, and you also send Yoshino, Mikoto, and Hitomi to protect my mother. You will give me a copy of all the scrolls about sealing art you have of Naruto, blood coming out of his eyes and ears. Hurry up Naruto-kun, you won't last any longer, Kurama said. I know, Kurama-chan, Naruto replied. And finally you will never remember this fight, Naruto said. Yes master, the Hokage said as he retrieved the scroll and gave it to Naruto. Then Naruto took it and left. Outside the village. Naruto had just left the Leaf Village to go on his 2-year training. He had taken some scrolls from the Uzumaki compound that he would learn. Naruto traveled for 2 days until he was out of the Land of Fire, where he found a place to rest and train. Hey, what are you going to train me, Naruto? First I'll teach you a technique to set me free for a while, then we are going to get you in shape before any serious training. For next 3 weeks we will be doing physical training, Kurama said, as Naruto set her free. The first she was to tackle him to the ground and covered his face with her wonderful upai. After that, training started. For the next 3 weeks Naruto did 1000 push-up, 1000 sit-up, 2000 laps, 1000 handstand push, all with 100-pound weights on every hour for the next 3 weeks. 3 weeks later. Okay Naruto, now that finish I can only teach you ninjutsu, so for any other training you have to find a master, Kurama said. That's fine, I always like ninjutsu anyway, so what am I going to learn first, Naruto said. First we going to learn water, then wind, then fire, then lighting, and finally earth, she said. Then she handed him a scroll for him to start it with. Then Naruto created some clones to start on the scroll. Water release. Water dragon bullet. Water release. Great waterfall jutsu. Water release. Raging wave. And etc. 5 more left. 1 month later. Now that you have mastered all of the water jutsu, I know next we have wind. Wind release. Wind dragon bullet. Wind release. 1000 blades. Wind release. Wind dome. And etc. 5 more left. 2 months later. Naruto's mindscape. Kerchan, I want you to change my DNA from that, Naruto said. But why? You may lose any bloodline from his side of the family, Kurama replied. I don't care, after what he did to my mom, and Naruto replied. Fine, but this going to hurt, Kurama replied. Just do it, Naruto said. A second later Naruto started to scream out in pain as Kurama changed his DNA. So his father's bloodline allows him to absorb other bloodlines. I can't get rid of that, one of the most powerful bloodlines, but Naruto-kun doesn't want it, Kurama says. First thing, separate all his DNA, then destroy his father's alone, Kurama said. 2 hours later. Oops, Naruto is going to kill me, Kurama said. The next day. Naruto, wake up, Kurama said. Is it done? Naruto asked. Yes, but there is a problem, Kurama replied. What is it? Naruto asked. I sort of accidentally delete almost all your mother's DNA, Kurama. You did what? Naruto said. 2 years later, Hokage office. A Sandaime was talking to a Jounin, Hana and Annika, then suddenly a figure appeared in a red flash. It was a man about 5 feet 9 inches, in an open cloak that show off his muscles and six-pack. It also covered his face, and a symbol on his back marked supernova. Who are you? Sandaime asked. I can't believe you forgot me already, it only been 2 years, replied the cloaked figure as he lifted it up to revealing his whiskered face and long red hair that reached his shoulder. As soon as the cloak came off he was tackled by 2 blur forcing him to the ground hugging and feeling up his six-pack. Wow. Naruto-kun, you are so hot, Hana said as she continued rubbing his six-pack. Hana is right, Naruto-kun, you were hot before, but with the red hair, Annika moans as she continues rubbing his chest. Cough. Getting everybody attention. Sorry about that, Hokage-sama, they all reply. So Naruto, how was your training? The Hokage asked. It was fine, I'm stronger than I was before. So where do I stand in your ninja system? Naruto said as he handed the Hokage a scroll of his training trip. You are still a genin, replied the Hokage. Okay, so when the next promotion comes up, and do you have a team for me? Naruto asked. You're in luck, it's only a few months away, and we have team that is short one person, just go and meet at the academy tomorrow, replied the Hokage. Thanks, old man, I will see you around. I am going to visit my mother. She must have awoken by now, said Naruto with a smile on his face. Sorry, Naruto, but she is still in the coma, Hana replied. The smile suddenly disappeared. Naruto did not say anything, he just vanished in a red flash. Do you think he will be okay? Asked Annika. He will be fine, now let's get back to work, said the Hokage. At the hospital Kushina room. Naruto watches his mother glowing red. Why is my mom surrounded by your chakra? Naruto asked. How do you think she survived that night 18 years ago? Kurama replied. You left some of your chakra in her, say, to surprise Naruto. Yes, I did, and it is the reason her mind didn't completely shatter that night, Kurama replied. Is her mind still shattered? Naruto asked. I'm not sure, you have to touch her, Kurama replied as Naruto walked over and put his hands on her. So Naruto said. Her mind was fixed a month ago, Kurama replied. Then why didn't she wake up already? Naruto shouted in anger. It was my order not to wake her until we arrive, Kurama replied. Why did you do that? Naruto asked. If she had awoken she would have died because it took all of my chakra in her body to repair her mind, Kurama replied. Why would it kill her? Naruto asked. My chakra is what keeps her alive, Kurama replied. How? Naruto asked. I will tell you later, now put your hands on her chest, said Kurama. Aura of life, Kurama said through Naruto. As Naruto put his hand on her chest, a pink aura started covering up Kushina, and then her eyes opened and she saw Naruto with her eyes off open and sitting up. Damn, he's hot. So he is the one who revived from my coma. As Kushina looked him up and down, then blush appeared on her face. I feel like I got younger somehow, as she started feeling up her upai. Yes, definitely younger. Realizing what she was going in front of the redhead, she blushes. Kurama hit his whiskers. Am I dead? She asked. No, you are alive, replied Naruto. As she lay back on the bed her memory returned to her, then she jumped back up, scream out Naruto. Calm down, he's alright, said Naruto. At this she calmed down, not knowing how she could trust this guy's word. Maybe it was something about him. Naruto was about to tell his mom who he was when she leaped out of the bed and captured his mouth with hers and pushed her tongue into his throat while Naruto stood there frozen. That was for reviving me, she said with a wink. So Naruto, it seems the Kushina woke up, Hokage said as he came in. Hokage, are you crazy? Naruto is not here, replied Kushina. He's right over there, pointing to the red hair guy, then his whisker appeared back on his face. As Kushina looks at the still frozen Naruto before a blush appears on her face, then she faints. What was that about? Asked the Hokage. Don't know what you are talking about, Naruto answering quickly before covering up his erection and running through the door and knocking over a girl carrying documents. He helped her pick them up, then he left. Later at a bar. Anko and Kurenai were talking to each other about the team Kurenai got. The next thing they saw is Hana taking shot after shot at the bar. Hana called Anko wondering what's going on. Ladies, Hana called out. Is it wrong for me to ravage someone for their appearance and package? She blushed. She can't get the image of the red-haired guy and his big member that she saw coming out of Kushina's room that had knocked her over. Kurenai raised an eye while Anko smiled evilly. No, who is he? He's hot, has red hair, looks about my age, and has a symbol of supernova in his back and a very big member, said Hana. This shocked them both when they had heard of the supernova. Hana, being 18, is having a hard time to find someone who can literally dominate her in some ways and in size. Saving herself, she finds a lot of guys not to her measures, but one blonde who was on a training trip. Who is he? Asked Kurenai, wondering about a relationship with Asuma. She can feel he is cheating on her. Anko also asks while Hana blushes. She turns to Anko asking her if she knows the memory to get into people's memories from the Anbu, which she nodded. Grab both of my hands and please don't scream, Hana said. Both Anko and Kurenai shrugged their shoulders. Their sex lives haven't been doing so great. Genma is a guy who gets it then falls asleep while Asuma gets tired so easily. When Anko performs, Jutsu hears Hana's thoughts about what happened at the hospital. Kurenai opens her eyes so fast, turns to Hana, and starts blushing. He looks familiar. Kurenai said he's hot. If only I was single I would ravage him as soon as I see him, and his big member snapping from her gaze. She can't do that, one it's wrong, she was in a happy relationship, right? Anko looks at Hana. She got up, but Kurenai pulled her by the hair. What? All I'm going to do is ask questions, and to find out who he is, said Anko. Anko mumbles about writing that sexy read. Shaking from excitement, she turns to Kurenai blushing like a tomato. Now I know who he looks like Kushina's son Naruto, Kurenai said out loud. Next day academy. Team 7 will be Haruno Sakura, Uchiha Sasuke, and Uzumaki Naruto. Your sensei will be Hada Kakashi. Ah. True love conquers all. Sakura shouted. Sucks to be you, Ino pig. Uzumaki Naruto, where have I heard that name before? Hinata, then she remembered, it is the name of the hot guy my sister told my mother had returned to the village. Uzumaki Naruto, that the loser my sister and mother was talking about last night. Sasuke. Where have I heard that name before? Ino, oh, should I use to stacker him? I mean following home until his mother caught and threat me. Who is this Naruto sensei? Kiba shouted. He was a genin that was on a training mission 2 years ago and just came back, his sensei replied. So you have finally returned, now I can get my revenge, as a student. Teammate will be Hyuga Hinata, Abiram Shino, and Inyazuka Kiba. Your sensei will be Yuhi Kurenai. Team 9 is still in circulation from last year, so Team 10 is an Ino Shikacho team again. Your sensei is Sarutobi Asuma. What? Ino yelled, causing many to cringe. After school 3 hours later. Naruto arrives to see his 2 teammates. So they put me with Anika's little brother and Councilwoman Haruno's daughter Naruto, as he took a seat beside them. Yes, we are teammate, nice to meet you, Naruto said. Sasuke replied, not even looking at Naruto. Brady has a stick shove up his ass like his father Naruto. Naruto-kun, Sakura replied with a blush on her face. A man appeared in front of them. Team 7 on the roof disappearing in a poof. I seen this guy's hairstyle and color from somewhere before, Naruto thought. That because he is the goat mask Anbu that attacked you, Kurumu said. Naruto's anger rose, but Kurumu calmed him down. After that he got up and vanished in a flash of red, shocking Sakura and Sasuke. On the roof. Kakashi is waiting for his team, but is shocked to see Naruto appear in red flash. He didn't know he could do that, watching Kakashi as Naruto sits on the rail waiting for the others to come up. Let's tell each other our likes, dislikes, and dreams, Kakashi said. Why don't you go first, sensei? Sakura said. Okay, Kakashi. My name is Hada Kakashi. I have likes and dislikes and my dream. I don't have to tell you, Kakashi replied, pointing to Naruto to go next. I am Naruto Uzumaki and I hate goats, Naruto said, and that was it. He took out a bingo book and started reading. But Kakashi said. You say something, Naruto said as he looks up from his book, then smiling as he watches Kakashi with no emotion on his face. Sasuke and Sakura face fault at that. Kakashi demon brat then points to Sakura, Naruto ignores them and begins to talk to Kurumu. You are aware this man tried to kill you, asked Kurumu. She knows Naruto will do anything to teach this a lesson for what he did all those years ago. He is one of the reasons why his mother was in the coma. My name is Haruno Sakura. I like Sasuke and giggles. Dislikes are Ino pig. And my dream is to look at Sasuke, blushes, then giggles hysterically. Fangirl, Kakashi thought excitedly. You're up to Uchiha-sama. Kakashi said. My name is Uchiha Sasuke. I don't have many likes and I hate nearly everything. My dream, not my ambition, is to kill a certain man. Now we will meet tomorrow at training ground 7 at 8 am. Don't eat breakfast, watching Kakashi shunshin away. Naruto lets out a yawn and shunshin away. Hokage office. Naruto had just received his shinobi ID when he heard. The day's the day I surpass you, old man. The boy yelled before he fell on his face hard. Hello, Konohamaru. The Hokage sighed. The boy, Konohamaru, got up with a groan and looked around. Hey, you tripped me. He yelled at Naruto with an accusing finger. You tripped over your own feet, you idiot. Naruto replied calmly, picking the boy up by the shirt. Honorable grandson, a voice yelled from the hall. He's here, Ibisu. Sarutobi replied. As he finished, a man with a dark blue suit and sunglasses walked in, panting heavily. There, you put him down this instant. Ibisu yelled at Naruto. It's the demon boy. You say something, Naruto said, not looking at the man, then he turned to the Hokage. I'm going home, Naruto said and dropped the boy on the floor hard. Ha! You can't do anything because I'm the Hokage's grandson. Konohamaru boasted. Suddenly Konohamaru was sent crashing into that Ibisu guy and knocked him over, then Naruto walked out of the room. Naruto was walking home when he saw a walking rock. Damn, what a stupid kid. Naruto kid, rocks don't have feet. As soon as he finished, the boy leaped out of his disguise, smiling. I'd expect nothing less from my rival. He exclaimed. Rival, he asked. Kid, I don't even know you. Teach me something. No. Why not, Konohamaru asked. Because I don't feel like it, Naruto replied, as walks away from the kid. Instantly the boy jumped in front of him and pointed a proud finger into the air. My dream is to be the next Hokage, so I won't take no for an answer when Naruto is about to answer him. Honorable grandson, get away from him. A voice shouted. Landing in front of the two, Ibisu rushed to the boy's side. You shouldn't associate yourself with people like him. He said disdainfully. Naruto was in front and his hands were on Ibisu's throat, then lifted him off the ground and started to squeeze it. What is wrong with people like me, as he squeezes Ibisu's throat harder. You are killing him, Konohamaru shouted, but Naruto ignored him and squeezed until the guy was out cold, then Naruto just threw him into the garbage bin. Why did you do that to him? Konohamaru shouted with tears in his eyes as he checked to see if his sensei was alive. Because he was annoying just like you, and if you continue to follow me the same thing will happen to you, Naruto said as he walked away. That was very harsh, Naruto-kun, even for you, Kurama said. I know, but I don't want anything to do with anybody that has, as the last name Tsurutobi, Naruto replied with venom. Next day, training ground 7. Naruto appeared an hour late since Kakashi appeared yesterday 3 hours late. Naruto sat down and began to eat apples, making the team confused. What is it called, breakfast? Naruto said as he ate the apple. He heard Sasuke snort and Sakura shrugged her shoulders. But another hour has passed. Naruto stretches and gets up. About time. Haddock-sensei turns to the left and Kakashi appears while raising an eye. You're late. Sakura yelled. Sorry, I got lost on the road of life. Kakashi replied in a lazy manner. Liar, Sakura yelled. So why are we here? Sasuke asked. Naruto nodded. You're going to take a survival test to see if you can become Genin. Kakashi replied. But we already did that except this loser. Sasuke thought aloud as he pointed towards Naruto, who ignored him. That was to see if you had what it takes to be at Genin level. Kakashi answered. 66% of you will fail the test and have to go back to the academy, and only 33% of you will go on to become ninja, at least in this regiment. Your job is to get these bells from me. He said, tying the 2 bells to his side. Come at me with the intent to kill, it's the only way you'll get them. But Kakashi-sensei, there are only 2 bells and 3 of us. Sakura said. That's right, the one without a bell at the end of 3 hours will be tied to one of those posts and watch as we eat our lunch and that person goes back to the academy. He replied, pointing to 3 stumps in the ground behind them and held up the lunch box. Naruto stands there raising an eye. But Sakura and Sasuke see the bells on Kakashi's sides, thinking they will get the bells. 3 hours ago, said Kakashi. Sasuke and Sakura vanished, leaving Naruto standing there glaring at Kakashi. Is something wrong? Kakashi asked. No, just looking at a fool, Naruto replied. Naruto just poofed away in a cloud of smoke. Kakashi shakes his head while thinking, so he knows the Kage Bunshin. He might prove troublesome. But Naruto casually walks to Sakura, who is hiding in a bush. Sakura getting up. What do you want, Naruto-kun, she said while blushing. We need to work together, Naruto said. Anything you say, Naruto-kun, Sakura replied. Just wait here, I'll be back. Naruto proofs away while Kakashi appears in front of Sakura, placing a Jinjutsu on her. Well, that was easy. Then he heard from behind him wind bullet blowing away Kakashi. Naruto releases Sakura from the Jinjutsu and disappears in a red flash with her. The demon is stronger than I thought, Kakashi said as he brushes himself off. But Sasuke. We should join together to fight him, Naruto said as he appeared near Sasuke. Sasuke smiles, an elite like me will never join you. You're just a loser. Said Sasuke, snarling at Naruto. Fine, replied. Then Naruto proved it. Kakashi standing in the field reading his book now. Sasuke is north while Sakura is east and the demon is above you, answered Naruto. High release. Flaming tiger technique. Taking a huge breath, a huge tiger erupts from his mouth, aiming at Kakashi. Within the last second performed a Kawaremi no Jutsu. However, his book wasn't so lucky. So he dodged it. Jumping down, he turns around while performing a few hand seals water release. Black whale bullet shooting a huge whale from out of a nearby lake and hits Kakashi a few feet away, slamming him to the tree. But Sasuke. Kakashi was fighting Sasuke when got the clone's memory. Shit, he's good, Kakashi. Kakashi blocks Sasuke's punch, then he throws Sasuke to a tree. However, before Sasuke even hit the tree, Naruto appeared and saved him. Sasuke pushed him away. I don't need your help, Sasuke. Kaiten grand fireball technique. Wind release. Bull barrage Naruto as his wind bull combines with a fireball which causes an explosion. Naruto grabs Sasuke and disappears in a red flash to avoid the explosion, and so did Kakashi, who had escaped too. Naruto threw Sasuke away, charged toward Kakashi with his palm glowing yellowish Nobitin Chidori Nova release. Thousand birds thrusting his palm in an arrow-like way into Kakashi's chest as it burned him, then he is impaled through as Kakashi scream out in pain. Adding more power to his hand, the attack burns Kakashi's chest, making the wounds deeper, but not life-threatening. Kakashi grabbed Naruto's hand to twist it off, but Naruto quickly grabbed Kakashi's hand and fought for dominance. Hurt doesn't it? Smile at Naruto. Wind release wind Dama. His body glows white, while wind comes from the body pushing Kakashi away from him. Kakashi hit the tree, and, as he got up he held his wound, and he had enough. Lifting his headband up he revealed Sharingan, angry that he has to use it on him. Naruto, seeing this, smiled. Are you alright, Mr. Goat? Naruto, as he started to laugh, then he left in a red flash, making Kakashi angry. Covering his eye, he curses that he let Naruto get the psychological advance on him, but more importantly, he drew first blood on Kakashi, lots of it. Shit, he knows who I am. He is going to be in trouble in the future. I got to make sure he doesn't get any stronger. I got to train Sasuke more so he will be able to control Kyuubi like Hiruzen, and the council wants it. Leaving the forest he goes to the training ground to find Sakura tied up. What's going on here? Kakashi turns around and sees Sasuke charging at him with a few kunai. Naruto appears from behind with a wind hammer slamming on Kakashi's back. He braces for the kunai to hit him, but it didn't. Turning to Sakura, she was holding the bells in her hand smiling, while Kakashi looked shocked. What, how? Turning to Naruto, he stands there folding his arms. Sakura, my bell, putting his hand out. Sakura moves to Sasuke and gives him a bell. Looks like I'm going back to the academy, Naruto replied with a smile on his face as he walked away. He figured it out at the start. However, more importantly, he knew I wouldn't let the Uchiha fail, cleverly expecting that from the demon. Turning to Sasuke and Sakura. You three passed, as Naruto stopped. But Sakura yelled. The main objection is to using teamwork to stop Kakashi, watching their stun reactions. So Naruto-kun was right, said Sakura, as she blushed at hearing this while Kakashi raised an eye. Naruto wasn't looking for an answer. He knew and understood the reason for the objection. Whatever Naruto said, turning around he looked at Haddock-sensei. You honestly think those two will work together with me? You are so wrong to leave in a red flash. Kakashi knows what Naruto said is true, but Naruto, they aren't going to work with you. But against you, and when Sasuke is done training he will make sure that you will die, and Sensei will be avenged. Smiling as he looks at the two genin in front of him. Uzumaki compound. As Naruto entered the house, he saw Kushina, Mikoto, Tsunade, Rin, Shizune, Yoshino, Hana, and Anika talking to each other. Hey, what's going on here? Naruto said, then Mikoto ran up and hugged him and pressed her lovely DDUPI at him, making blush while she was getting glared at by the other women. Ignoring them she held Naruto tighter. So Naruto-kun, how was your training? You got a girlfriend yet? Mikoto asked. Everyone looked interested in his answer. Well. Flashback 6 months ago. So this the village hidden in the mist, said Naruto. Hold it right there, what are doing in our village, said a nameless guard. I am here to seek the sword master to train me, Naruto replied. You have to talk to our Mizukage first, so follow me, said a nameless guard. Mizukage office. As they reached the Mizukage office, Naruto saw two of the most beautiful women he had ever seen. They were twins of about 25. The first one that was sitting down, she has green eyes and ankle-length auburn hair styled into a herringbone pattern at the back, a top knot tied with a dark blue band, and with 4 bangs at the front. 2 bangs are short, with one covering her right eye, and 2 are long, crossing each other on her chest, just below her chin. She wears something, as in the anime, and the other one was standing. She also has green eyes and ankle-length auburn hair styled into a herringbone pattern at the back, a top knot tied with a dark blue band, and with 4 bangs at the front. 2 bangs are short, with one covering her left eye, and 2 are long, crossing each other on her chest, just below her chin. She wore a storm outfit, mist version of the leaf Anbu, with her mask in her hands, and had a small thundercloud with water droplets falling on her shoulder. May's point of view. She was sitting doing paperwork when the door opened, and a hot Greek god entered with red hair and 6-pack to die, for she blush immediately. Damn, can't wait to sink my teeth into him, she said to herself, as blood leaked out of her nose, she quickly wiped it away. Main point of view. Mai was talking to her sister when saw her blushing and wiping blood from her nose, then turned around, and there he was, the man of her dreams. I am going to get him in my bed tonight, as she blushes and covers her nose to prevent blood flow. Normal point of view. Akio-Sama, the man is looking for a sword to train him, said an unnamed shinobi. Okay, we take it from here, the Mizukage replied. He bowed and left in a puddle of water. So Mr. the Mizukage asked. Naruto Uzumaki. Naruto said. Mei Mai and Uzumaki, I thought they all died out. My name is Mei Terumi and this my sister Mai Terumi, the Mizukage said. Nice to meet you, Naruto replied. So what do you have to offer for our service? Mei asked. I will teach you how to do Fuinjutsu, sealing arts and I think, Naruto replied. Mei said as they shook hands. 3 months later. Naruto had trained with their best swordman and women in the village. He had also been taught lava release and many other jutsu from Mei and Mai, who had gained his trust, so he told them about his life in the hidden village and his bloodline limit. Naruto and the Terumi twins had grown closer to each other. They would fight over everything to do with Naruto, whether training, dinner, etc. As Naruto entered his room to see Mei standing in his room before he could react, she was in front of him. Thanks for watching my video and make sure to check out the author of this fanfic, link is in the description. See you next time, till then sayonara.